Let's get inside the tech tent now. Self-piloting water taxis have begun real-world testing in Amsterdam. The aim of the autonomous boats is to take traffic off the roads in cities with suitable rivers. For more, let's check in with our captain of tech, Image Matrix tech editor, Djuro, or for this, we'll call him the Merrill Steubing of technology. How do these boats work?
Good morning, Tim. Well, I could just imagine you going fishing and not having to drive the boat. These are fantastic. So MIT is involved with this as well. In Amsterdam, they've been coming to the end of a project which has reached about 5 years to get them on the boats on the rivers for reals. And here you can see them. These autonomous boats work using similar technology to self-driving cars, but it's a little bit different. Obviously, you don't have a roadway to guide you. It's out in the open a bit. And they use other things like LiDAR and satellite navigation. And as you can see here, you can just jump on it. It carries 5 people and you can go around the riverways all by itself. So you can hail it as a taxi, or it can be just a ride share like an Uber. And it also can change the top. So here it is picking up the rubbish and taking it off like a barge. These things go for about 10 hours and then they recharge wirelessly. And, you know, what better place than Amsterdam to trial this sort of technology? As you can see, it works itself out where it is in a position. And I think as it avoids the boat coming here, this is a really smart way to go. I think in some ways this is easier than doing driverless cars, but in other ways it might be more difficult because you are in a more open space, and it could be anywhere you're going on the water, so you don't have those lanes. But this is really, really cool. I could imagine this, as you can see some of the early work on the River City in Brisbane, for example. I mean, all our major cities have some sort of decent river around, or in Sydney Harbour, but it'd be pretty good. And so that testing is underway, and I really think this is going to advance faster than autonomous cars. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, isn't it? And particularly in Europe, you think of France and other places like that. Now, what about this new drone that can see across cities?
So DJI just announced, there were a few leaks, the DJI Mavic 3, and I really can't wait to get my hands on it. It is their latest drone. Now, you'll pay between $3,000 and $7,000 for it. It's got 2 cameras. Now, one of the cameras is 20 times zoom, and as you can see here, it gives you like Hollywood-style punch-in results, but it also can transmit, as DJI say, and I don't think anyone's been able to test this, 15 kilometres. So I did a bit of a thought process, or an example of what you could do here. Totally illegal, of course, but if you were King's Cross in Sydney, you could fly it potentially to Sydney Olympic Park and then punch in with the zoom, Tim, to Parramatta from a few more k's away, and you could be standing up on the eastern or close to the eastern suburbs in Sydney. So that's the sort of range you've got with this thing. It also, and the good thing is it knows how to find its way home. You can see it here navigating. So if it's decided that it's getting lost or loses communication with your pilot, then it'll make its own way home. This is a really interesting move by DJI, because this drone is incredibly smart. The pictures coming out of it are just absolutely extraordinary, but the fact that it can find its way home over rugged terrain, it's doing it here, as you can see, is a really good safety thing. Of course, when you fly a drone in Australia, in many places around the world, you have to have line of sight. So I don't know how good your eyes are, Tim, but if it gets to 15 kilometres away, I don't think you're going to see it.
Yeah, no, my eyes are pretty ordinary. Actually, distance not too bad, but that's remarkable that it finds its way home. I find it quite astonishing that the EcoVat bot vacuum cleaner can find its way home inside the house, let alone a drone like that. Now, Microsoft's new Surface device looks like a serious challenger to the iPad.
It really does, Tim, and now available in Australia. I might just go to the camera on the desk here to show you a comparison. You know, ideally, I'd like to have the Surface Pro 8 up against the iPad Pro, but I've got an Air here, so it's very similar looking. It's got the Magic Keyboard, and as you can see, there's sort of different alignments with the Magic Keyboard. But the great thing is about the Surface, like it always has, is it's got that kickstand at the back, and that means you can kick it out even if you don't have the Magic Keyboard. Also comes with a pen, as you can see here. It's really nice as well. Works a bit like the Apple Pencil you see up here. So these devices side by side are very impressive. But what I think about this Surface Pro and the Surface line is that because this is a full Windows 11, don't forget the brand new operating system, 2-in-1, it's sort of a laptop, sort of a tablet. It is probably better if you work in a professional environment and you need to use all the big Microsoft apps, for example, and you've got extra ports to plug things into. The Apple laptop or tablet itself is generally more powerful, but I think overall the ecosystem is more suited to something like the Surface Pro 8. And as you can see here, it's got a really cool kids function built into the software. So if you're really worried about when your kids are browsing, you just switch it over to essentially a kids mode, and it's really easy to use. So yes, great business device, but it's also a good family device as well. And I know you use them on the desk there too, Tim. So this is really improved. It's very fast. The pen is fantastic. It really is a personal choice at the end, whether you go iPad or the Surface Pro 8. But I really think it's a wonderful device, and I'll be putting on a review very shortly on Image Matrix Tech. But certainly they have improved out of sight.
Now, what about Microsoft's foldable phone? You were pretty excited at the start. What do you think now?
Yeah, so this is the Djuro 2, Tim, and as I said, you just fold it out like that, and you can read it like a book. So I think this is a great device, and I want Microsoft to persevere with it because I think it's really cool. But there are certain things like there's no screen on the front. So there is a notifications panel at the back, but I really find it frustrating when you want to pick up the device and just deal with a quick message. So this is the Fold 3 from Samsung, and even the Flip. They've got little screens or a screen on the front. And I think that's one thing you can do. This is another example where a company like Microsoft's had a go at it. It's really popular. Like, you really can't get it unless you're with a business in Australia right now. They're around $2,300. And the fact that you can move things across the screen is great. I think there needs to be more apps to make that work. It's an example of a great piece of tech, Tim, that's not quite there yet. And I just hope they keep going with it. But it is a cool device. I just need that screen on the front and I'll be ready to go. And don't forget, it's a phone as well and works on 5G.
Now, before COVID-19, you were technology's answer to Marco Polo, travelling the world, customs halls all over the joint. Is your passport up to date? Are we going to see you going international soon?
Yeah, I really am hoping. I don't think I'll go to CES in person next year, but I am planning Mobile World Congress. So I really want to get back to that. That's in Spain, of course, Tim. But I've got my application for a new passport. It expired during the pandemic a few months back, so I need to get it. Actually, my license is broken as well, so I've got to get a few pieces of ID sorted, Tim. You'll have to vouch for me.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, particularly for a tech bloke. And with all your flying, you should have enough status to have enough weight in your baggage to carry me with you to Spain. Good to see you, Djuro.
See you next week, Tim.